What's up, everybody, and welcome to today's video. I gave a little shout out on Facebook that I was making this video. It's like a conglomerate of things that came together, but I want to well, first of all, shout out to Global Communities. Today's Global Community Day. Just had a shout out. Love Global Communities. Representing, trying something new. I put a t-shirt over my polo. I've always wanted to try that. Finally got to do it. Super excited about it. So we'll see what people say. But all right, so today I'm talking about God in a way that kind of has to do with the little things that he does in our lives. Like when we, I guess, I don't know, I'm having a hard time putting this all together, but yesterday again was an amazing day because God was just working through it step by step, little by little, every little piece of the day. By the end of the day, I saw how it kind of all came together, and it was kind of mind-blowing. But I think it has to do with when you put God's kingdom first and you're not afraid to share about your faith, that's when God does amazing things. So all these little things that happened in my day were because I put God's kingdom first and I was not afraid to share my faith, and that's kind of why I think about it in that bigger picture. But let me just go through what happened yesterday. So regular day, started off with high fives, giving out high fives in front of North Diner. Nothing too crazy, nothing too special. Brought my bike back over to South Diner, did high fives in front of South Diner, had a great time doing that. Got to again pray for somebody on the spot. It was a little awkward this time, but it's something I'm working on and something that I've seen twice do something kind of cool. So there again is an example of me putting my faith first and not being afraid to share about it. And that was just kind of cool those first two times. But either way, jump to what's really important is I went to have Bible study with Dale from Vine Ministries. I don't think he'll mind if I use his name. He is somebody who's been really pouring into my life lately, sharing a lot with me about what it says in the Bible and how to apply it in my life, and challenging me with it, which is awesome. And so actually what's really cool is that our Bible study was about the kingdom of God and what the kingdom means, and when it came and when it actually came, what it means now that it has actually come. And essentially the kingdom is the church, it's the people, it's all of us who are now Christians. And so talking about that, it says that what should be number one on our priority list is his kingdom. And so sharing about that, talking to people, sharing the great news of the gospel, that's what should be at the top of our list. And so that, was just kind of cool to see, see the progression, see the history of how there was a promise that was made, and it came, and time got closer to closer, and then it finally came, and that was a whole cool thing, which I redid the whole Bible study on my own so that I could be able to share it with somebody else afterwards. So that was really cool too. But so that was just the beginning part. So there was a cool thing of seeing the kingdom, what it means, and how it kind of is important. But all this will tie in at the end, so just hold on tight. So that was cool. Then I walked out of Stamp, and three of my favorite people were standing in the same area. And I mean, I say favorite people, but everybody's my favorite people. But two people from Crew were sitting there doing kind of a Bible study, and then somebody from South Campus Diner was there, who I got to know over the last year. He's also a believer, and he actually gave me this really cool thing, which I'm going to explain in another video after I get better at explaining it, because I still realize that I'm not perfect with it, so I want to make sure I'm not botching anything. But either way, the three of them were out there. I said something if I hadn't said this thing, none of what happened afterwards would have happened. But I said, oh, three of my favorite people in the same spot, how can it be? And then we all started connecting the dots, saying, oh, this person from this person, and I was man, it's a small world. In a good way it's a small world, but also in a bad way it's a small world. How is it that we don't know each other, yet we know each other, and it's only us? I don't know how to explain it, but either way, the gentleman from the diner shared his testimony, and after being friends with him for a year, I had never heard his testimony. He gave me this, we've talked a little bit about God and things like that, but I've never heard his testimony. After knowing him for a year, I've never heard it. I was kind of okay, why is that? Why is that happening? And that's just something else that'll build up, but it's was I not sharing my faith? Was I not putting my faith first? Was I not putting God first in my life? And that's why we never got to that point where I got to hear his testimony. I mean, I feel that's something that when you are friends with a believer who, you really become friends with them, you learn about this thing. And I thought that I'd already gotten to that level with Roy, but I never heard it yet. So it was kind of another hint in the face, saying, slap in the face maybe better, saying, Luke, wake up, make sure you're putting me first, kind of like putting your faith first, sharing about it, that kind of thing. So either way, did that. Then I went to go see my friend from the other video that I talked about, the chef at the other diner, see how his business is going. His business took off. He sold a couple last week. He's selling a couple this week. It's pretty cool to just see him like do that, and so that was just another like highlight of the day. And like, it's kind of funny because like all these little things are gonna build up. But so I did that. Then I went to go hang out with somebody who had never gone rock wall climbing for the first. Okay, let me take a step back now. It's like, I would not, before focusing on God first and trying to love everyone and be a part of people's lives so that God's light can shine through me, I would have never been hanging out with all these people and spending so much time invested in them. And so the fact that I've made that change in my life, and now I'm hanging out with this person, this was their first time ever rock wall climbing. They did 3 in one day, and they're afraid of heights, and they didn't say anything at all once about heights. And I was first of all just mind blown by that, because I'm like, bro, that's pretty cool. You just accomplished something that you were fearful of. And I kind of think it was, I actually don't know what it was, but like, it was just cool to see that. And then I got to sit down and talk with the person, learn a little bit more about them. Like, it was just cool to like get to know somebody on another level, which was really cool. And we got to share some cool and interesting, like, deep things, which was another like amazing thing that like, I'm like, if that wasn't God, I don't know what was, kind of thing. So to keep going, now it's like 6:30 p.m. I'm going to hang out with a friend of mine. I think I mentioned him in the last video. Like, we did road trip. We both did road trips. We connected, la la la. We kind of knew each other, but we didn't realize how much we had in common. And then now we're trying to hang out more with each other because we've realized how important that relationship is, and how we can kind of pour into each other. So hung out with him. We answered some questions for each other about like different things in the Bible, and it was just like a good like discipleship kind of thing, or like just even like a brother in Christ kind of like working together thing. So that was great. And then I went to Bible study, and this is like where it all came together. Like, I just saw like everything from the fact that that morning I read Acts 1, 2, and 3, to like having Bible study with Dale talking about his kingdom, to putting my faith first, listening to people, seeing how the person from the diner lost his faith, gained his faith, lost his faith, kind of came back, and is now back strong. Just seeing all these little things in my life like come together at the end of the day at this Bible study, where we went into like Hebrews 6 and trying to understand like, what does it mean to taste heaven, or taste, heaven's not the right word, taste like the gospel, taste like being saved and then like falling away. Like, what does that mean? Is it possible? And like, just the fact that like I was able to pull something from every single part of the day into that conversation and like be able to make like meaningful like insights and like things like, I was just like, I love seeing puzzles come together. So like being able to do that and seeing all those little things that I did that I thought were just like random little things that were like, oh, that's cool, that's fun, like whatever, seeing all those little things come together where I can like use them to help others, or to, you know, break down a problem, or kind of see a bigger picture, I was like, that is what it's all about. And so essentially, I think like the lesson I learned yesterday was that like, when you put God first in your life and you try to like share about the gospel, he does fun, amazing little things, and there really should be like nothing that you're worried about like in terms of judgment of other people and things like that. Because what does it matter if like you lose a couple like people who say, oh, that's weird, you're a Christian, blah blah blah, whatever. Like, but like, I'd rather have like 3 great friends who love me for who I am and who support me as a Christian and who are fellow Christians than a bajillion people on campus who know me as a high five guy and want to be friends and think of me as a celebrity. Like, no, I would rather have those 3 friends than be a celebrity. Like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Exactly. What's up, Logan? But that's pretty much like what happened yesterday. I'm still kind of trying to process it all. I did not do a good job explaining all that in the video. But hopefully you got something out of that. You just were inspired or something. I'm gonna try to make some more videos, but yeah, that was that. it's just amazing to see how when you put God first in your life, you share about it, you're not afraid to share about it, even in those weird, awkward situations, amazing things happen. So, with that being said, that's the end of the video. I don't know. I'm not gonna, you can subscribe if you want. I'm not gonna request that you, I mean, I like it when people subscribe, it makes me feel good, but that's not what this is all about. This is just about sharing the message. So, with that being said, hope you all enjoyed, hope you all learned something, and I'll catch you on in the next video. But until then, high five!